Hello everyone, happy Tuesday. It's time for another episode of Tuesday Live at 5. This is Lena Gersa. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Cambridge, Ontario, Canada. Hot and steamy, first day of summer, Cambridge, Ontario, Canada. And today I am all about beautiful summer florals with the Awash and Beauty Suite from the Stampin' Up! 2022-2023 annual catalog. Now, this is another one of those suites where you kind of look at it and you go, okay, I don't need more flowers, right? We've all got so many beautiful floral papers and so many beautiful floral stamp sets and dies that you kind of go, okay, I don't need another one. And you know what? You can never have too many flowers, honestly, because they're all unique and they're all so beautiful. And this suite is so stunning. The papers are fabulous. And the stamp set is a beautiful watercolor effect. The dies are awesome. So I'm going to show you the whole suite. I'm going to show you 3 projects today. And then I'm also going to show you a new one-sheet wonder that I designed using some of this paper. So I've got lots to share with you today. I hope you're ready for some inspiration and some beautiful summer florals. So let's see who's joining me. Let me pull up my iPad here and see who is joining. Where are we here? There we are. Who's here? All right, we've got Laura and Missy and Deb. Hello, hello. Hi, Krista. How are you all? Hi, Doris. Thanks for sharing so much. I appreciate it. If you are here in Southern Ontario, you are probably experiencing the same heat we are here today. It is a hot, hot first day of summer. I wish I could say it was the first day of my summer holidays, but not quite. Today was our last day of classes at school. So, well, I should even qualify that. Last day of regular classes. I still have my special needs class until Friday, and so much marking and so many report cards to write and so much year-end cleanup and stuff to do. But the end is in sight. In fact, 1 week from today, this time, 1 week from today, I will officially be on summer holidays. So next week's Live at 5 is going to be pretty spectacular, let me tell you. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to talk more about that at the end. It's going to be a special one-sheet wonder one, but I'll talk about that at the end of today's video, okay? All right, so enough chit-chatting. Oh, it's hot in the U.S. Yes, Missy, I know, all over the U.S. it's crazy hot. And yay for summer holidays. And yay for special events. So next week will be, I'll talk more about that at the end, but next week's going to be lots of fun. So let me flip my camera. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to show you the suite, and we're going to get to some stamping. So here we go. There we go. I'll do the old flip. Now I think my handle, oh, no, we're okay. Yeah, it is in the way. Oh, well, we're going to have to just deal. There, I'll just put it up a little bit higher. My handle got rotated. Do you see that right here? This thing? Nope, that's going to be a pain in the neck. Let me see if I can get that out of the way. There, that's a little bit less annoying. Sorry about that today, guys. I will have to adjust that for next time. We'll just slide that over a little bit, and hopefully that's not too much in the way. Let's just wait for that, my iPad to catch up. There we go. That's not too bad. Okay. All right. I know you've never seen it in view before, Laura. It's because my my phone holder got flipped on the weekend when I was doing a couple of things, and I forgot to flip it back. So that's why you're seeing that little knob today. But that's okay. It's not too much in the way, and I will try to avoid this top corner of things. All right, so here is the beautiful Awash and Beauty Suite. We have the True Beauty stamp set. A lovely watercolor effect with these stamped images and some beautiful, beautiful sentiments. And then we have this amazing die set. So this lattice die is a full card front size. It's huge. And I'm so thrilled to have this lattice die. We've had pre-cut, laser cut lattice before. And the big thing for that for me is that it's such a pain to glue down because you have to put glue on these little bits. So the best thing with this is to put some adhesive sheets on your cardstock before you die cut and then run it through and you get this gorgeous lattice. You're going to see that on the first card that we're going to do today. So of course we have dies that cut out stamped images. They also coordinate with the DSP, which I'll show you in a minute. And then we have a couple of extra little sprig dies. So that is the bundle. The True Beauty bundle, and then we have this absolutely stunning designer series paper. So we have this gorgeous one, cut it in half, cut it into 6, and you've got 6 beautiful card fronts, no muss, no fuss. This one is just beautiful, these sprays of flowers. Now this is the sheet that has the dies that coordinate. So all of the images on this paper, I'll just quickly show you, can be cut out with the dies. So talk about quick and easy crafting. In fact, my first 2 projects tonight are going to use only die cut images. I'm not even going to stamp for the first 2 projects, okay? Here are the others from the other sheet, but so fantastic. And make it really quick and easy to craft. Here's another sheet from the pack, and love this one. This sheet actually inspired my second project today, and then this one is the one that inspired my one sheet wonder. So you'll just have to wait and stay tuned for that. And of course on the back we have more neutral patterns. So we have that. Mossy Meadow, love the wash effects on many of these patterns. Just so beautiful. So that is the Awash and Beauty Designer Series paper. And as I said, so many lovely patterns in that. So let me get my stuff out of the way here and we are going to get to it. So our first project, and look, we have beautiful parakeet party, which just happens to coordinate perfectly with my first project. You like that? I didn't plan it, but there we go. So as I mentioned, the first 2 projects have the only stamping is my sentiment. So all of these beautiful florals are die cut from the DSP. So I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to make beautiful floral arrangements. So I have to start a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of the DSP. It's that beautiful spray of flowers on the back, but I wanted to use that granny apple green parakeet wash. And then here is that lattice die cut. So as I mentioned, it is large. It's big enough to cover an entire card front if I wanted to, okay? But I only wanted to use half of it, okay? So I'm just gonna use like that much. So I'm going to go ahead actually and grab my trimmer. I'm gonna use my little guillotine, I think. And we're gonna cut this in half. So this is about 5 1/2 inches. So I'm gonna cut this just a little bit longer. I'm gonna do about 2 and almost 3. So 2 7/8 ish. Okay, we're gonna chop that, save that for another project. And then we're gonna go ahead and stick this down. Now I've already put lattice or adhesive sheets on the back of my lattice. So talk about super quick and easy to stick down. So we're just gonna line this up along the edge of our DSP and stick her down. Super quick and easy. Okay. Then it's all about floral arranging. So we've got some gorgeous die cuts. I've got my granny apple green. I've got a couple of little sprigs here. So we're just going to kind of arrange these. Then we'll stick them all down in a minute. So I have this piece. Now this is cut from the edge of the DSP. Do you see that straight edge on there? So I'm not going to actually use that particular leaf, but I am going to trim off this one because we can certainly use it. So we're going to trim it and add it as well. So we'll just clean that end up a little bit. And then we're going to have an extra leaf to use on our project. We've got some of the pair of leaves. We've got these cute little yellow flowers. So it's just really a matter of arranging them, right? So we're going to add a little bit of adhesive to the back of this one. We're going to glue the pair of leaves onto the back of this. So we'll do that. Hello, Joyce. Hi, Peggy. Nice to see you live. Hope you are keeping cool. So there is that. That's going to go on about like that. We're going to add this little guy down here. This one's going to tuck in here. It's really just about sticking them down. Really, it's not rocket science, as I like to say. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to add just a little bit of adhesive here to start tacking these down. Now I will add a little bit of liquid glue to the upper parts of these. But the stems are going to kind of stick to my seal that I put down there. So same here, we'll just add a couple of little dabs of glue at the top. And stick that one on right about there. And then we have our little bitty sprig. Again, a couple of dabs. These are so lightweight, they don't need a ton of glue to stay put. Okay, so there is sort of our background. And then we're going to add our wow flowers. So we're going to put this one on first. It's going to go flat. So again, I'm just going to use a little bit of seal. It's going to kind of go up here. And then this one's going to kind of pop up here. I'm going to add a couple of dimensionals to that. And again, there's no wrong way to do this, guys. People always talk about, you know, how hard a time they have with flower arranging. Just stick them down. It's flowers. Flowers grow every which way. There's not really a wrong way to do it, right? Don't be scared. Just do it. Which is something that I said to my students today who were nervous about performing. I'm like, don't be scared. Just do it. You've been doing it all semester. Just get her done. So there we go. All right. Now we're going to add this little leaf. I think I'm going to tuck it in. You know what? I don't even know that I want that leaf. We may not use that one. But we are going to go ahead and stamp our sentiment. Now, this little oval label is die cut from using the All That dies. So that die set, you may not, you know, be in need of a masculine card or set of dies or bundle, but that die set is fantastic because it has so many great label dies. And I have found I've used it a ton just for the dies. It's a really great set. So I'm going to use my Here For You Always sentiment, which is part of the stamp set, and a little bit of basic gray ink. So we're going to go ahead and stamp that on our oval. And then we'll add a couple of dimensionals here. Hi, Joyce. How are you? And we'll get rid of our backings here. And we're going to just kind of slide this in. It's going to kind of tuck in underneath the petal of that one pink flower. Okay. And then these guys are just going to kind of get added here and there for just a little extra pop of color. And again, these are the perfect size to add a single dimensional to. So we're going to just go one, oopsie, stuck to my finger, and two. So we're going to grab that and tuck that one in there. And then this one, we're going to tuck in under here. We'll tuck it in under the leaf, just like that. A little pop of yellow. Yeah, you know what? We don't even need that extra leaf, so we're going to save that for another project. And now this is going to get adhered to a basic white card base. This is actually thick basic white. It's 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored in the middle at 5 1/2. So we're going to fold them in half along our score line and add a little bit of adhesive to the back of our DSP. And then we're going to pop that onto our card front. Just like that. Okay, and then we're going to add a little bit of bling and a little bow because every card needs bling and a bow. Well, most cards. So I'm going to do a double bow. This is just white baker's twine. It's part of the basics, I think it's called, baker's twine pack. It comes with several different spools in it in sort of your basic neutral colors, hence the name. So we're going to tie up a quick little double bow here and just adjust our loops. And don't worry if it twists up on you a little bit. You can fix that, right? Like you just have to kind of play with the tension on your knot and pull it nice and tight and get your loops the size you want them. That one's a little big still. And then we're gonna trim that off. Okay, and then a little glue dot, wherever they are, on the back of our knot. Just press the knot of the bow into the glue dot. You can either use your fingernail or take your pick tool, and this is just going to get stuck down right in that, just in the bottom corner, if an oval has a corner of the oval. Okay, just like that. And then I have some iridescent pearls. Now again, these are parts of the suite. They are the embellishment in the suite, and they're really, really pretty. They're very, very iridescent. It probably doesn't show up especially well on the camera, but they really are pretty. So we're just going to go ahead and add a couple of these guys scattered around our floral arrangement here. And one more. And there we go. Done and done. Super simple, but super pretty. Now on the inside, I've added a few more die cut flowers, just glued them in. You could certainly stamp flowers as well, but I was kind of wanting to highlight the DSP and the dies here. So I stuck with my die cut floral theme and you're done. Okay, super simple, easy peasy card. Made that way because of the beautiful dies in DSP. Okay, All right, thanks, Doris. I love the color combo too. Now, speaking of color combos that I love, this one it's one of my new favorite color combos. I got to tell you, I would never in a million years, sorry, I got to take a sip of water. Too much talking today. I would never in a million years have put these colors together. So this is Merlot, Calypso Coral, Polish Pink, and Mossy Meadow. And honestly, Stampin' Up is brilliant. I never, ever, ever would have put these colors together, but aren't they fantastic? Such a great color palette. So I posted this card earlier today, and I'm going to show you how to put it together. Again, this is just, whoops, I just dropped one of my flowers. Grab that off the floor. This is just such fantastic DSP. I wanted to really highlight how simple it is to create projects. So this is a piece of that gorgeous DSP. Now I'm using a trick that I call rip and flip. So this is cut to 4 by 6 inches. So it's 1/6 of a piece of designer series paper. That's 12 by 12. So I'm going to just take and rip a segment of this paper. So it doesn't really matter which side you rip from. I'm just going to kind of tear straight across. Now I know for some people this is extremely stressful. You could always cut it. You don't have to tear it. I just like that little bit of a raw edge on here. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this bottom piece. And I like having that little bit of a raw edge. Now I've covered a lot of it. You can't see much of it on here, but I just like the look of that. So then what we're going to do is you can either glue this directly down on your card front or put it on mat like I'm going to do. So this mat is Calypso Coral cardstock. It's 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So what I can do then is glue my pieces on and just make sure that I've got equal border top and sides. And then I'm going to match up my edges, equal border at the bottom. Okay. And that by having the extra length there, it just gives you enough to overlap, and you can actually play around with how much you want. Like if you want to see some of the coral, you can move that up. It's totally up to you. Okay. It also gives you a little bit of wiggle room in case you don't like your tear. If you tear it crooked or it's not a very clean tear, you can try again. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and glue this down. And because I'm going to be adjusting this and I want to line up my edges, I like to use the liquid glue just to make sure I get it exactly where I want it. Okay, so there's that. Isn't that pretty just like that? I think that would be a lovely look as well. This paper, oh, you can only get one thing from this suite, get the paper. Let me tell you, it's so fabulous. So let's go ahead and stick this guy down as well. And again, I just want to line up those edges. Make sure they're nice and flush. I don't want to see any white peeking out. A little bit of white glue, but no white paper. There we go. Okay, so there is our finished background. Now, before we glue this onto our card base, we are going to use a little bit of this beautiful gold shimmer ribbon. I love this ribbon. It's been around for a couple of years. I'm so glad. Because it's just got a beautiful subtle shimmer to it. It's a nice width. It's a 1/4 inch wide, which makes it really easy to use on projects. So this is going to get glued, but I don't want to cover up that raw edge. So I'm going to put it a little bit below. So we're going to just stick this on. I'm adding a glue dot on either end of my piece of ribbon here. And we just want to make sure it gets put on straight. So you can eyeball it or use your grid paper. That looks pretty good. Okay, so there is our background. Now we can go ahead and glue that onto our card base, which I'm going to do right now. So I have a Merlot card base. Now I can't tell you the last time I used Merlot on a project. Like I so rarely use it. It's such a beautiful deep burgundy color, but I just don't use it enough. And this paper inspired me. Now I think the color in this paper is actually supposed to be Blackberry Bliss, but I feel like the Merlot is a perfect match. So this is cut to 5.5 by 8.5 inches, scored in the middle at 4 1/4. So we're going to go ahead and fold that in half along our score line. And then that is going to get glued to the front of our card. So I'll just use a little bit of seal. I got to order more seal. I have been going through seal and dimensionals like crazy because I've been designing a lot, making lots of swaps. Just busy, busy, busy. And I'm getting down there. So we got to order some more. Speaking of orders, did you know today's free shipping? I forgot to mention that at the beginning. Free shipping on all orders of $100 or more today. if you are in Canada. In other countries, the cutoff amount is a little bit different, but here it's $100 and it ships direct to your door for free. So you can shop in my online store. You can email me your order directly. You can message me here on Facebook, whatever. And I can put your order in for you. I have to receive, if you're going to have me put your order, it has to be by 8 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. If you're shopping online, as long as it's in by midnight, you are good. All right, so I have this gorgeous circle. So this is die cut using the Stylish Shapes dies, okay, new in the catalog. And I've embossed it using the Painted Posies embossing folder. And oh my goodness, that folder is just beyond stunning. So beautiful. So we get this gorgeous embossed floral. Now this is eventually going to go on right about here, okay? But we are going to arrange our flowers first. So I'm just going to set this on my grid paper. I've got some more die cut flowers from the DSP. I've got another partial stem. I'm going to use the leaf on this one. And then I've got a couple more sprigs. So this one's cut from Mossy Meadow and this one's cut from the Distressed Gold specialty paper. So we're going to start by sticking this one on. It's going to kind of be our thrill, right? Kind of going up the top here. So I'm going to put a little bit of seal. Now you want to tread carefully because this is really deeply embossed cardstock. So you don't want to go too fast with your seal because it will tear. Okay. I'm going to add just a touch of glue to the back of this just to make sure it sticks flat. There we go. And then I have this beautiful gold sprig. I love this distressed gold paper. It is part of the texture. Well, I'm not even sure if it's part of the suite, but it works really well with the Texture Chic suite, which I will be featuring at some point this summer. And it is just, oh, such gorgeous paper. Beautiful texture built in. You've still got that gold shimmer. It's just stunning. So again, I'm just adding a little liquid glue to tack this into place because I don't want it flopping around as I add my other elements here. So we have a beautiful Calypso Coral rose. I'm going to add a leaf to that. So I'm just going to trim this off my stem. And we're going to add that just to the bottom of there. So we'll just, what am I going to do? I'll use a glue dot. So many adhesives to choose from. So we'll stick with a glue dot here. So that's going to kind of be poking out the side there. We have our large polished pink flower. It's going to go on right about there. And then these little guys, I thought it kind of looked cool if they were kind of growing on this stem. So that's how we're going to do that. So these are going to get popped. So we'll pop our pink flower first. And I'm kind of keeping my dimensionals towards the middle of my flowers. And that's just so that I can tuck things in underneath as I go. Okay. So we're going to put that guy on there. Stick it down. Now this one is going to kind of sort of hang out here. So I'm going to add a couple of dimensionals along the edge of my circle. So one here, and I'm actually going to add a mini, a whole mini. A bunch of my minis are chopped. And then I'm going to put a little bit of seal on the back of that as well. So that part that overlaps the pink flower stays stuck. So we're going to add that. Just like that. And then these little guys are going to tuck in. Again, I'm going to add a dimensional to the back of each of them. So we'll go 1, 2, and 3. And then we're just going to kind of tuck these. And this is why you only put your dimensionals in the middle of your flowers. So you can tuck little bits in behind and just, you know, kind of arrange your flowers the way you like them. So we'll add this one up here. It's going to be growing on that stem, and there we go. Isn't that pretty? Now that is going to get stuck down onto our card here. I'm going to put it so that my ribbon is just kind of coming across the bottom of the circle, okay? And this is also going to get popped. So yes, I know we're double popped, but it will go through the mail. I have to say, I don't ask permission. I just put a stamp on it and drop it in my mailbox, and I have never yet had one come back because it's too thick. So I'm just going to put that out there. Hopefully nobody from Canada Post is listening. And I'll start getting all of my cards returned. But I have never yet added extra postage to one of my cards, even though I'm a little addicted to dimensionals. So there we go. Our last couple of touches, we're going to stamp a sentiment. Hi, Pam. Welcome. So we're going to stamp our sentiment on this little banner. I'm using this Just Because sentiment from the stamp set. And I'm just going to use, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Okay, that's a first. I don't think I've ever sneezed on live video before. There we go. First time for everything. You do these long enough, there's gonna be a first time for everything. All right, so I'm gonna stamp my just because on my little banner here. Just stamping it in black because black goes with everything, right? And then this is going to layer on here. It's going to extend off the edge of my circle. So I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals here, a little bit of tape here, and this is just going to kind of hang out. So we'll just kind of go one almost to the end of my dimensional sheet on here. And we'll put a little bit of tape on this end. And we'll get this on here. Hi Gladys, hi Leaf, welcome. So we're going to just, oh, where's that gotta go? It's gotta go right about there. And again, we're gonna try and get this straight, hopefully. Okay. Last couple of touches is a little bow. So again, using that same beautiful gold shimmer ribbon, we'll just make a quick little bunny ear bow here and adjust the size of our loops. The thing with this ribbon is you want to pull your knot good and tight. It is satin, it is quite slippery, so you want to make sure your knot is good and tight so that your bow doesn't let go. And then we're going to go ahead and add a glue dot to our knot. And then that's just going to go on the circle right where it meets the ribbon there. And it looks like it's tied, right? But it's not. It's a cheater. And then here's a little sneak peek of a new embellishment that is coming. So these are the new festive pearls, and these are actually included in my Christmas in July Stamp Camp swag bag. So if you have not yet registered for my Christmas in July event, you have until July 1st to get your registration in. We are featuring the boughs of holly, leaves of holly. That's sweet in the new mini. It's gorgeous sweet, and you're going to get the stamp set and this gorgeous pack of pearls as well as half the DSP. There's some awesome swag. You can check out all the details. They're pinned to the top of this page. However, the festive pearls, they include 4 different colors. I love it when we get multicolors in an embellishment pack because it gives you so many options. So we've got this sort of soft red, we've got soft succulent, silver, I've only got 2 left, I've already used almost all the silver ones, and we have gold. So we're going to go ahead and add a couple of these little gold ones. I love these little pearls because they're a nice small size. I like little bitty embellishments. So there we go. So those are the new festive pearls. You want to check those out in the new mini. All right, and that is that. Done and done. I don't think I did it. Nope, I just left it plain on the inside of this one. So that is number 2. So number 3, I thought it was time to actually use the stamp set. So number 3 is another beautiful summer color combo. I just love bright summer florals. So this one is uses a Nubian color. This is the Orchid, I almost said Orchid Opulence, Orchid Oasis in color, and I highlighted it with a little bit of Parakeet Party and some Daffodil Delight. So I'm going to show you how to do this one. I've already gone ahead and stamped and die cut all of my florals. So you have to take my word for it. They are stamped. Okay, they're not cut from the DSP this time. They're actually stamped. And here I have some lattice. So here is, well, it's not the other half of that piece, but it is a half of the lattice die. And this is a piece of Parakeet Party DSP. This is the 6x6 Parakeet Party DSP. And it is cut to 3x4 inches. Okay, so again, I've got some adhesive sheets on the back of my lattice. So we're going to go ahead and stick this down. Now, I don't want this solid white border to show on my DSP once I'm done. Okay, so we're going to try and center this in such a way that we don't get that solid white border. So we're going to peel off our backing. And then we're going to put this on, and sometimes, again, it helps to use your grid lines to help get things straight. So I just want to make sure that I'm keeping those solid white lines at the edge of my lattice off the DSP. Okay, so there we go. Now we're going to just take our snips and we're going to trim off the excess bits. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and trim this along here. You can certainly use your paper trimmer as well. But this works quite easily. We're just going to use the back side of our DSP as a guide to trim that off. So we'll get rid of that. And we're going to trim this off. Whoopsie. Come on. This one's a fuller sheet piece, so it's going to be sticky. It's sticking to my snips here. I may have to use my trimmer to clean that up. Let's see what that looks like. I think it's probably pretty jaggedy. Yep. Let's just bring in our guillotine here. And we're going to give that a little bit of a chop just to clean that. I'm just going to snip off like just a hair. Look at how much cleaner that is. So much better. And same thing on this side. Again, I'm just going to chop off those little bits. And same thing on this end. We're going to chop off that little bit there. There we go. Okay. Then we are going to layer that on a piece of basic white. So this was 3 by 4 inches. This is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. Okay. And that's just going to give me a nice clean border all the way around. With this piece, the reason I didn't want these pieces is because this piece didn't have one, right? And I didn't want it to look odd. So that is why we chopped those off, and then we're going to mat this. Make it look a bit tidier. So we'll go ahead and stick that down on our mat. Okay, and then we're going to add a little bit of Orchid Oasis twine. So this is the in color twine pack. Again, you get a spool of each color of the five new in colors. I think it's like, I can't even remember what it is, but it's not insanely expensive, and I love baker's twine. It's a quick and easy way to add texture and a little bit of interest without overwhelming your project. If you are not a baker's twine user, I encourage you to give it a go. All right, so we have our glue dots on the back. We're gonna go ahead and just layer baker's twine across the front of our panel here. And then try and get it semi-straight. Okay, just like that. That is then going to get glued onto our background, but I think I'm going to glue this onto our card base first. I'm going to explain my logic. So this is a piece of basic white cardstock. It's embossed using the Hive 3D embossing folder, and it is another super deep embossing folder. It's a fabulous folder, but it embosses very deeply, and it really weakens the cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this onto my Orchid Oasis card base before I start layering things. Okay, so this card base again is 5.5 by 8.5, scored in the middle at 4 1/4. It is our beautiful new Orchid Oasis. I love this sort of periwinkle color. And now, as I mentioned, this cardstock is quite weakened by the embossing. So if I go ahead and put my seal on here, I'm probably going to tear it. So I'm actually going to apply my seal directly to my card base. I rarely do this because sometimes we risk, you know, having the glue peeking out behind if we don't have, like right there. I'm just going to, you'll see. So we're going to go ahead and glue this on, and I'm going to have to clean up that little bit that's, oh, you know what? I made it. It's not sticky. Ah! Lucky. All right, so there is our card base. What I was trying to get at is sometimes when you apply your glue to your larger piece, you put it too close to the edge and you get some of the adhesive peeking out. Okay, but there is our card base. Now this is ready to get layered on here like that. Okay, now this is going to get popped again, and I just happen to have a nearly finished dimensional sheet, so we're going to actually use the borders. I love to use the edges of my dimensional sheets for popping up large pieces, because you're not having to peel off a whole bunch of little backings, and it just goes real quick, right? So save your dimensional sheets for this purpose, for when you want to pop up larger elements. So let's grab this one. This still has a dimensional on it. That one's going to go in the middle anyway, so we'll get that there. We'll add this over here, and we'll pop that one there, and another piece here, and there we go. Okay, so great way to use up your edges. So let's peel off our backings. I don't know if I've told this story before, but I've had people in the past who use up their sheets and then they actually throw out the edges, and I end up going fishing through the trash can to pull them all out, because that's a waste of perfectly good dimensionals. I am not above dumpster diving for dimensionals. All right, so there we go. Let's take now all of our beautiful stamped images. So as I mentioned, we get this beautiful watercolor effect. These are all stamped. The darker green is Granny Apple Green. The lighter is Parakeet Party. So again, we're just going to build our sort of arrangement here. We've got a beautiful sprig. This is cut in the Granny Apple Green as well. That's going to go there. And then we're going to arrange our other pieces. So once again, we're going to start by putting down a little bit of seal here, And that's going to give us sort of a basis to start adhering things. I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue to these guys. And we'll pop this one on here. Don't be afraid to let things kind of extend off the edge of your arrangement. It's totally okay. As long as they don't go off the edge of your card, you are good. All right, thanks for sharing, Claire. I appreciate it. There we go. Now this guy is going to kind of go on up here, so we'll add a little bit of seal. Let's pop that guy on there. So I'll put that one on there. Okay, now this one is actually going to glue onto the stem. So I actually like sticking the stem down first and then adding my flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this on. I'm going to put some dimensionals behind the leaves, or pieces of dimensional, because I'm almost out. And peel these off. Now I'm not going to worry about sticking my stem down, and that is because once I add all of my other elements, it's going to stick anyway, so I'm not going to worry about it. I am going to go ahead and trim this off, just so it's nice and tidy at the bottom. We're going to add this flower. It's going to get popped, so we'll just do this like that, and I'll add one more a little bit. I think I have another sheet of dimensionals handy here, so we will grab those in just a sec. So that's going to go on there. Okay, and then we can add our other stamped flower. So again, we're going to add our double leaves just behind one of the petals. So we'll stick that on there. And then that's going to go on kind of right about there. Again, with a couple of dimensionals. And let me open a fresh pack. Look at that. A fresh, pristine pack of dimensionals. There's something special about opening up a fresh pack. I love me my dimensionals, and I am not ashamed to admit it. All right, so we'll add a couple here. I think I'm going to put one in the middle there as well. Again, keeping them mainly to the center so that I can tuck other elements in. So we'll go ahead and add that. Okay, and then we have these adorable little yellow flowers. Now this one I'm actually going to put up here like that, I think. This one I'm not going to put a dimensional on. We'll just add a little bit of seal, and we'll tuck that one in there. And then this little guy, where will we add him? I think we'll put him down there. We will put a dimensional on this one though, because he's going to be tucking in under here like that. Okay, so slightly different arrangement, but again guys, there's no wrong way to do this, right? It's flowers, so you can do it however looks good to you. All right, now this cute little tag is not from this die set. It's actually from the hydrangea dies, and I love this little bitty tag for little bitty sentiment. So we have this teeny tiny with love sentiment in this stamp set, and it is sized perfectly for this tag. It's like Stampin' Up planned it. I don't know if they did, but if they did, they're brilliant. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp my With Love in some Orchid Oasis ink. I'm going to stamp it towards the bottom of my little tag here. That's because I want to have a nice big bow. I don't want to cover up my sentiment. So this is going to go on with some dimensionals, but first we are going to tie us a nice big double bow. So I'm going to bring back my twine, and we'll make a nice big bow here. Thanks, Martine. I love these colors too. I love periwinkle and yellow together. And of course the parakeet is just such a happy green. It's just a great combo. So there is our nice big bow. That might be a little too big, so we'll make our loops a little bit smaller. There we go. Oh, that one's too small. Pull it nice and tight, and then we're going to trim our ends again. Okay, so there's our bow, and then we're going to grab a glue dot. We're going to press, whoops, where's the end of my glue dots? There it is. Press the knot into a glue dot, and then that is going to get stuck to the top of my tag. Now I'm not actually sticking it to the hole. I'm putting it a little bit below because it needs some real estate to stick to, right? If I put it right on the hole, I run the risk of it not actually adhering. So it's a little bit lower than the knot, or than the hole. Okay, and the knot is going to go on with a dimensional. Again, looking like it's tied, but it's not. It's faked. And then this is going to go on again right where my twine meets, so it looks like the bow, the tag is tied on to the twine like that. And there we go. So we're going to add a little bit of bling with some of these beautiful brushed brass butterflies. I have to say that slowly because it's a hard one to say. So we're going to add a couple of these little guys sort of fluttering around the lattice here. Love these little embellishments. I love that they're super flat too. Not that I worry about keeping things flat, as I mentioned. Just stick them in the mail and there we go. All right, there we go. There is our finished card. Now on the inside, I stamped some more flowers. I added a layer of basic white and stamped some more flowers on the inside, and you are good to go. And this could be for anything. It could be a get well, it could be a thank you. Now I didn't bring my Wink of Stella over, but I did add Wink of Stella to all of my flowers. It probably doesn't show on the camera, but they are very sparkly, sparkly. So there are our 3 projects for today. Okay, now I want to show you a couple other samples that I made with this suite. So this is that DSP. Remember the piece that I showed you that has the flowers going across the top and the bottom? So I literally cut one 4x6 or 4x12 inch strip and then cut them into card fronts, and you've got an instant card. So this one I kept super simple. I just stamped my sentiment directly on the DSP, added a bit of twine, and done. So pretty. I did add some Wink of Stella to my flowers because, you know, why not? And then this one is a stepped up version of the same card. So I actually took the little bit that I cut off of the DSP. So here I used it on the inside. Here I used the leftover bit as a horizontal element. And then I used this die cut. This is the new, what are they called? Beautiful, no, something borders or edges. Delicate edges, that's what it's called. I'm looking at my die shelf here as I'm sitting here. Delicate edges, and they cut these beautiful leaves. So I added that as a little extra element. And then some of the die cut flowers. So really pretty, easy way to step up a card. So that's that one. I'm gonna get these out of the way for a sec. And then I wanna show you my new One Sheet Wonder. So I designed these using this DSP, but next week I'm actually going to take you step by step through this One Sheet Wonder in my live at 5 using the Hues of Happiness DSP. I love that paper so much. And so I wanted to showcase how beautiful this paper is, but next week I'm going to take you through this One Sheet Wonder with Hues of Happiness. Okay. All right. So we have, again, this is all of these cards, all the DSP on these cards is from one single 12x12 sheet. Okay, so here is one, again, so what I did when I designed this, I cut my DSP and then I die cut a whole bunch of the flowers from that one pattern of DSP. All of my sentiments are from the Charming Sentiments bundle. Okay, so there is number 1. There's number 2. I fussy cut that beautiful spray from that DSP that I love so much. Number 3, again, I used a spray from the edge on this one. Number 4, more Mary Merlot. Love that color with this DSP. And then we've got some fun folds. So this is the fun fold I demonstrated last week using the Sun Prince DSP. So this is using this gorgeous Awash and Beauty DSP. So there's that one. Here's another fun fold. There's that beautiful embossing folder again, so it opens that way. And then we have a cute little gift card holder. So this unties, and you can tuck a gift card inside. So all of these, again, so 7 projects from one sheet of DSP. So next week, again, I'm going to showcase how to make each of these. So it'll be a longer live at 5 next week in celebration of my last day of school. And I'm going to walk you through how to cut your DSP to get all of these projects out of it. And I'm going to walk you through, but I'm going to use the Hues of Happiness DSP. Okay. Then I will make the cutting guide and everything available to you. I will post the link and you can cut your DSP and have some fun. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me this week. I hope you enjoyed these projects. Check out this gorgeous suite. It is, it's fantastic. And I will see you next week for another episode of Tuesday Live at 5. Bye for now.